Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Expanding My First Scenario course. In this video, we're going to take our automation skills a step further by adding filters to our scenario. But first, before we dive into filters, let's set up our scenario to make the most of this lesson. So what I want you to do is do a little bit of a recap on our last lesson, and I want you to do this on your own. I want you to open your Make Foundation use case scenario, and then I want you to add a router between the weather and Google Sheets module, and simply add another Google Sheets add a row module and configure it. Pause this video right here, take your time to do that, and return once you're done. Great. Now that you've added the router and another Google Sheets add a row module, your scenario should look like this. As you can see, our scenario is starting to take shape. Now, this router allows us to split data flow, enabling us to process data differently based on certain conditions. Today, we're going to build on this foundation by introducing filters. Filters will give us the power to control which data goes where, making our automation even more precise and efficient. So let's dive in and explore what filters are and how they can enhance our scenario. First things first, what exactly are filters? Filters act like gatekeepers in your scenario. They evaluate the data passing through and decide whether it should continue based on the conditions you set. This selective process ensures that only the data meeting your criteria moves forward, while the rest is held back. Imagine you're at an amusement park with a height requirement for a particular ride. Only those taller than a certain height can go on the ride. The height checkpoint is the filter. It allows or restricts access based on specific conditions. In our scenario, we'll use filters to direct temperature data to different Google Sheets based on whether the temperature is above or below a certain value. Now, to effectively set up filters, it's important to understand the types of operators we can use to define our conditions. We have basic operators that check whether a data field exists or does not exist, allowing you to filter based on the presence or absence of data. Text operators apply conditions to text data by checking if it's equal to, contains, does not contain, or starts with a specific word, or as software engineers like to call them, strings. Then we have numeric operators. These set conditions on numerical data, such as greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to a certain value. Next, we have datetime operators and time operators. These use conditions related to dates and times, such as later than, earlier than, on or after, or before a specific date or time. As for Boolean operators, these evaluate true or false values to make logic decisions in filters, checking if a condition is true, false, or not equal to a Boolean value at all. And finally, we have array operators, which apply conditions to lists or arrays by checking if they contain a specific item, does not contain an item, are empty, or are not empty. Understanding these operators will help us set precise conditions for our filters. Now let's prepare our Google Sheets to receive the filter data. Now navigate over to the Google Sheet where you're connecting these modules. So once you've opened your Make Foundation use case Google Sheet, you're going to go down to the bottom left corner to this plus sign and add 2 more sheets. Now yours should say sheet 2 and sheet 3. I've added and deleted a couple, so mine is sheet 10 and 11. But I want you to rename these sheets regardless. The first one I want you to call above 20, and the second one I want you to name below 20. And to name that, all you have to do is double click on the name of the sheets. These sheets will serve as destinations for our filter data, making it easy to organize and analyze the information based on temperature thresholds. With our sheets set up, we are ready to add filters to our scenario. Back in our scenario, let's add our first filter to control the flow of data. There's 2 ways to add a filter. Method 1 is to directly click on the route, meaning the line between the router and the first Google Sheets add a row module. This opens the filter configuration window. The second method is to right-click on the route and just click Set up a filter under the menu. Now in the configuration window, I want you to enter a label here. We're going to name this temperature above 20. As for condition, when you click in this text field box, the bundle will appear, and as you can see, it shows you where you're getting the data from as the weather module will pulsate. I want you to find temperature and click on temperature, and for the operator, I want you to click down on the drop down menu here and scroll to numeric operator. And here's where I want you to click greater than, and then in the value field, I just need you to type 20. So now your condition should read temperature greater than 20. Click OK to save it, and then don't forget to save your entire scenario. Next, we'll handle the data for temperature equal to or below 20 degrees. Now do the same thing. You want to click on the route between the two. That opens the filter window, and then under label, we're just going to type temperature equal to or below 20 for clarity. We're going to go back to condition. We're going to choose temperature again, then click the drop down menu, go back down to numeric operators, and then choose less than or equal to, and then type in 20 into the values section. So the entire condition should be temperature less than or equal to 20. Click OK and save it one more time. Now, before we run the scenario, you got to remember we have to also change the configuration for our Google Sheets add a row modules. So go into your Google Sheets add a row modules and go back to sheet name. And for the temperature above, you want to go and choose the above 20 sheet. Then under values, we want to make sure that the temperature ends up in column A. Once you've clicked temperature, click OK. Then you want to do the same for the second Google Sheets module, but for this one, you want to make sure you choose below 20 and also add in column A the temperature. Click OK. Excellent work. Now we're ready to run our scenario. So click the run once button at the bottom left corner. You'll start to see that actions are taking place. And once it's executed, you should take a look at your Google Sheets. You'll notice that you've consumed a few operations now that you've ran the scenario. Also, this funnel will appear between the two filters we added, and one of the funnels should have a 1 next to it indicating that that is where the data has been transferred. Now to confirm this, we got to check our Google Sheets. So let's head over there and check it out. Now keep in mind, the weather app is operating off of Celsius. So if my current weather is above 20 degrees Celsius, we should see it in my above 20 sheet. If not, it should be in my below 20 sheet. So let's take a look and see which one it navigated to. And there you have it. My current degrees in Celsius is 21.16 degrees. And if you check my below 20, as you can see, it does not get anything because we filtered out the temperature. Even though we configured it to go to both sheets, being that today's temperature is above 20, it only appeared in my above 20 sheet. Before we go, remember you always have the auto align button down here if you need to recenter your module as we continue to build upon it, and the explain flow as well to explain the flow of your data. These tools can come very in handy, so you'll be using them intermittently as we can proceed through the course. Other than that, you've successfully added filters to your scenario, giving you precise control over your data flow. By mastering these filters, you're enhancing the ability to create powerful, efficient automations. And in our next unit, we'll delve deeper into filters and explore more advanced features that will take your scenarios to the next level. Thank you for joining me in this video. Keep experimenting, and I'll see you in the next one.